Hi, my name is Brian Smallwood. I'm the head coach for the boys and girls varsity tennis teams at Hawken. And today we're going to go over the intermediate lesson for forehand volley. Now, before we talked about the grips, and just as a quick review for ground strokes, the knuckle was on 3.5 for a forehand. For a backhand, we switched the grip to 2 and 7. And then now for a volley, the knuckle is going to be actually on 2.5. So again, it's 1, 2, and then the ridge between 2 and 3 comes up, and this knuckle goes on that number for 2.5. You'll also notice I spread my fingers out a little bit, and there's a nice V on the top of the handle. A lot of people call this the continental grip, but I like to use the numbers because they're very specific, and there are variations of the continental grip. And if you just say continental, we don't know which one that is. So this is the forehand continental with the base knuckle on 2.5, and then the base of the hand that comes off the handle, this is the first time we're talking about this, actually comes off at 2. So it's where the hand comes off the handle. This is 2. So if we were to draw a line, the line would go from 2.5 to 2 from the knuckle to the base of the hand. So when we go to hit a forehand volley, you have to understand what volleys are about. The reason that I'm at the net is so that I can intercept the ball out of the air. I am not letting the ball bounce. I'm taking the ball out of the air and I'm getting in the way at the net. So when we go to hit a volley, our first and only move needs to be forward to get in the way. And it's very counterintuitive because a lot of people are afraid of the ball, A, or B, they're used to backing up to get set ups for ground strokes, but for volleys, we're gonna move forward. So we're back in this ready position, out in front, and you'll notice that the ready is a little higher than it was at the baseline, and we're already using that continental grip with the left hand on the throat. The first move that I make on a forehand volley is to take the racket out and to move the hand out forward to prepare to hit the ball. Then I'm gonna add my toes. So feet are moving, split, and then I add my toes on a quarter turn. Wanna do this with me, Mel? Okay, here we go, ready? Split, turn, and then out. Yep, again, ready? Split, turn, and then out. So at no time does the racket ever go behind the plane of my body. The racket stays in front, and then I'm gonna step in when I go to strike the ball. One of the biggest mistakes on a volley is that you're not using the right grip. The second big mistake is that your racket goes behind you, which is bad news because you can't see where you're hitting the ball. And one of the bigger mistakes, I think most of the time, is just that people don't understand that they're supposed to be going into the ball as the ball is coming into them, which is kind of counterintuitive. But here we have Melanie, and you've seen her before. Melanie's going to be doing some intermediate forehand volleys for us. So Melanie, let's see what that looks like. Yes, that's great. Okay, great, awesome, good job, that was awesome. It looks perfect, doesn't it? Yeah. So now, when she's up at the net, her idea is to try to go forward when the ball is coming to her, but we're gonna make it a little harder on her now. We did that in the beginner session. We're actually gonna back her up. And the ideal positioning is halfway between the net and the tee, or where the 2 service boxes hit. And we're gonna back up the feeder a little bit, and we're gonna have a longer tracking period. So the balls are gonna be coming from further away. And what we're gonna do is we're gonna be moving our feet and splitting. And then what Melanie is gonna do is she's gonna be picking off the ball and hitting the volley cross court, and then coming back again and splitting, and then picking off the ball and hitting the ball down the line, okay? So let's try that out. Ready? Your feet are moving. We're changing the direction. So the best view of this is probably from behind the player. So let's do it again. Ready? Cross court. Ready? Again. Yep. And feet are moving still. And again. Split. Good. Let me move this ball. Try it again. Good. Number 2. Great. Last one. Forehand. Good. And number 2. Excellent. Okay, so what Melanie just showed us was a nice controlled volley that went in both directions. But now now what we're going to do is we're going to actually, for intermediate players, you need to start talking about doubles and doubles positioning. We're not going to go all over the positions of doubles, but what we're going to do is we're going to actually slide Melanie over halfway between the service line and the net, and if you were to make an X in the box between where the service line hits the net and the strap, in the corner of the box, and then the corner of the doubles alley of where it hits the net and the tee, she would be starting in the center on this. So a lot of my players that come through for both the boys and the girls teams, they get all of the singles training in the world, and they don't necessarily know where to stand for doubles. This is it. This is where you would be at the net, specifically when your partner is serving. So what's going to happen is Melanie's going to cut up to here to hit her forehand volley, which is going to be coming through, but then she'll go back to the position that she's in. So here we go. You ready? Right here. Good. And then back again. Yep. Good. And then back again. Yep. Good. And then back again. Good. One more. Yep. Great. Now she's going to come over on this side. She's going to do the same thing, but it's outside volley over here. It's a forehand volley, and she's going to move this from there to here now and cut this ball off. And we're going to go, she's going to go through the tee with this and cut it in the hole where the two doubles players, in between the two doubles players. So here we go, Mel. Ready? Go ahead. Yeah, back again. Yep, and again. Nice, and again. Good. Last one. Good. Okay, good job. Nice job, well done. Okay. So, as a review, for volleys, for an intermediate player, you not only want to practice all of your volleys that you would have up at the net here, but you always want to position yourself so that if you were playing doubles for a high school team, that you would know where to stand and know how to move, because it is different. There are 7 players on a high school team, 4 play doubles, 3 play singles. So you need to understand where to stand and where to go and how to move. And I always value that when players know that coming in. So I want to thank you for visiting again and going over the forehand volley, and thank you, Mel. And we'll see you next time for the backhand volley. Thanks a lot.